The wild boar just had a free meal. It was then ambushed by Wild 6 in a surprise attack. Scared, it clenched its buttocks and rolled on the ground. However, by the time it reacted, it was already too late. With the bamboo rat meat almost gone, Big Head Brother had to prepare for survival ahead. Here, he once used a smoking hunting method. He successfully caught a big bamboo rat weighing 8 caddies, cut into small pieces and wrapped in banana leaves, then coated all over with a thin layer of mud. This is a primitive way of cooking. After it's fully cooked, we get a delicious bamboo rat stewed in leaves. Due to the reduced activity of animals these days, he could only eat some banana tree cores to satisfy his hunger. Although rough on the outside, the inside is very tender. Not only does it contain 70% water, but it is also very nutritious. In the end, he also got a bunch of wild bananas. However, just a little vegetarian food is far from enough. So when he was hungry, he could only pick some wild fruits to fill his stomach. So, in order to have a feast in the wilderness, he decided to try his luck in a more dangerous forest. At this time, there appeared traces left by some wild boar on the ground. There is no hunting technology here. He sharpened a tree branch he had cut. As for how big a wild boar he could catch, it all depended on luck. Of course, not everyone is allowed to hunt wild boars. It must be in the designated tropical rainforest in Southeast Asia. He spent a few minutes cutting and trimming. The main position of the trap was also ready. Then he picked a soft soil and pushed it in forcefully. Continuously strike the wood with the back of the knife. The top priority is to quickly install the trap. Considering the ferocity of wild boars, simply make a trap out of vines. In case the wild boar is large, we can delay some time. Finished setting up the trap, the young man is about to assemble the trap. Securely lock the trigger mechanism with 2 tree branches. Insert a few thin branches diagonally at a 45-degree angle towards the center. This not only increases the triggering area, but also enhances the capture probability. Finally, cover it with damp leaves to prevent the wild boar from discovering it. Once the trap is set up, we can just wait for the wild boar. Afterwards, he left the trap with his front feet. He then found a good treasure trove next to a stone wall. We just need to make some slight adjustments for a good return. Due to the uneven terrain, it needs to be polished. Trim off the excess parts of the fresh, overlong branches. Then, connect a stone slab to the mountain god. Without the guidance of a master, he figured it out on his own. Lift the rocks and cleverly piece them together with branches. If a small animal passes by, it will be crushed by the heavy stone slab. The process seems simple, but the execution requires precise techniques. Of course, there's no acting here, it's all real combat for this young man. Because in the wild, if he doesn't catch prey, he could very likely end up staying here. The raindrops are gradually getting bigger. We need to quickly find a place to shelter from the rain. A naturally formed cave temporarily solves the urgent need. Living in a damp cave for a long time is not a solution either. Falling ill in the wilderness is a deadly danger. So he plans to build a small wilderness cabin. By inserting 2 pillars, he can connect the shelter's beams. The sturdiness of the house depends on these 3 wooden beams. Next is to hang the roof tiles. Each one is spaced 20 centimeters apart and neatly arranged. Then on the other side, we just need to align it. After the roof tiles are in place, we can start laying the tiles. So he immediately went to cut a banana tree that had been growing for 2.5 years. In just a few seconds, it fell down abruptly. Because these huge banana leaves are a natural waterproof material in the wild, the unique drainage patterns can effectively prevent rainwater from seeping in. Not only is it spacious, but it is also very convenient to set up. Of course, we can't forget about the soft mattress. It looks like a secret base from childhood. Fortunately, the banana tree that was just cut down left behind a bunch of delicious fruits. Simply peel off the skin with a knife. No need to add any seasoning, just eat it raw. Although there is a risk of diarrhea, he prefers to fill his stomach. However, beautiful banana flowers like this can also be eaten. It tastes bland and flavorless. The texture is like an unripe persimmon. Finally, add a simple banana stem. And thus, this wild slimming feast comes to an end. In the blink of an eye, it was the next morning. After a quick tidy up, he went to check on the trap situation. Unexpectedly, he saw a wild boar standing in the distance. Skillfully, he sneaked up behind the wild boar. Unexpectedly, this guy was quite stubborn. Taking the risk of being bitten, he seized the hind leg. Immediately, he pushed it down. Quickly, he took out the prepared hemp rope to tie it up. At this moment, the young wild boar still tried to struggle and escape. After packing it up, he passed a wooden stick through the middle and carried it away. Judging from its size, this guy weighs at least 80 caddies. Wild boars are a strange species. Although they may look silly, they have a violent temper like a gangster. They value life and death lightly, and will fight if provoked. It's hard to say how long this hard-earned food reserve can last. What prey will he be able to catch next? Let's continue to watch and see.